What's up, everybody? How you doing, my Vox and Hop heads? Matt here, as always, stoked. I hope you had a good week. I had a great week. I'm taking some time at home with my family. I'm really enjoying it. I had the time to do a bunch of interviews. I had the time to spend some time with the family, some of my friends, and I've drank a whole bunch of great beer throughout the past week. I hope that you guys did as well. I had the extreme pleasure of being a part of a Pantera tribute band, which is called Goddamn Electric, which took place last Saturday at Club Soda. When I started playing gigs downtown with 3 Mile Scream, it was one of the biggest venues that we got to play, and it always holds a special spot in my heart when I get to play there again. It was a great gig. I went out and performed Slaughtered with them, and while I was prepping for the song, I knew the song well, but I didn't know it as well as I would have to go out and perform it, and I was tinkering with the idea of doing a Phil-esque cover, a Phil Alamat style vocal, and when I went to go practice with them finally, I just decided to go straight up death metal and keep it brutal, and the band really liked it, and it was a great time. So I had a great time there. Afterwards, we made our way to Fofone Electric, which is a classic bar here in Montreal, a metal bar here in Montreal. It is basically the CBGBs of Montreal, and I was hanging out with some Vox&Hops alumni. I was hanging out with Danny Marino and Chris Kells from The Agonist, and as we're about to order our crappy bar beer, we look and we see a little tap hiding in the back, and there it is, Boreal du Nord-Est's IPA, which just is an IPA that just ranked #1 IPA on ratebeer.com, so we ordered a pint of that in a plastic glass, which was disappointing, but it is Foof, so what can you expect? And we had one of those. As I was discussing with Danny at that moment, I was telling him about how I've been doing my beer of the week, and I was thinking about adding in my album of the week, because I tend to listen to a lot of music being a musician, and I like to listen to a lot of new music, and I was thinking about sharing with what I've been listening to with all of you. So Danny challenged me and said what I should be doing is a pairing. I pair a beer with an album, and I was like, that is a very good idea. So thank you, Danny Marino, for this idea, and I'm going to do it right now. So my pairing of the week, which is my album of the week matched with my beer of the week, from February 15th to February 22nd, Herod's Somme Dessin. And the beer that I think that goes just so perfectly with it is Bierrerie Shelton's Russian Stout, which has been aged for 6 months in a bourbon cask. So the reason that I think that these two go so well together is because they are both dark, they are both ominous, yet the beer has a little bit of hints of chocolate, vanilla. It's and the album is not just dark and ominous. There are moments of uplifting melodies that come through the vocals, and sometimes when it gets to breathe. I really enjoyed this beer. I really enjoyed this album. Herod is a progressive sludge band from Switzerland, and they're going out on tour soon with The Ocean. And if I can give you like a band description of what this new album sounds like, I would think that it's like the bastard love child of Meshuggah meets Gojira meets The Ocean, so them touring with The Ocean makes perfect sense. The beer, on the other hand, is, as I said, very dark. I found it a little bit too effervescent, but as it settled, I really enjoyed it. I like my stouts a bit more flat almost, and creamy. The boozy notes of the bourbon are just spectacular. If you like beers like this, if you like bands like I mentioned, you should do the pairing. So my pairing of the week, once again, is Herod's Sombre Dessin and Bierrerie Shelton's Imperial Stout, aged in a bourbon cask. Coming up this week on Vox&Hops episode number 21, I had the pleasure to sit down with one of my bandmates. I sat down with Olivier Pinard, who plays bass for Cryptopsy, but he also is a super busy dude, and he plays bass for Vengeful, which is an extremely interesting, brutal, dark death metal band from Montreal. He also plays in a band with ex-members of Cryptopsy and Neuraxis, and that band is called Akurion. And he also plays, he's just about to go record record the new Cattle Decapitation record. So I'm super stoked to hear some of that, see where that's going to go. I'm a big fan of cattle, and when he had the opportunity to be a part of it, I was extremely supportive of that decision. So check out our conversation where we talk about his extremely busy year that he has coming up, some of the obstacles that Cryptopsy and Cattle Decapitation will have to face in order to have Ollie in both of our bands, his love of wrestling. We also talk about some horrible, silly Cryptopsy, drunk Topsy stories, which probably shouldn't be shared, but we did. We announce some future stuff coming up with Cryptopsy. So check all that out coming up on Vox&Hops, episode number 21 with Olivier Pinard.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Here we are, Vox&Hops, episode number 21. And we are at Vices&Versa on Saint Laurent Street in Montreal. And Vices&Versa, along with Le Saint-Buck, in my opinion, probably has the best beer selection of craft beers in Montreal. Today I am here with my bassist from Cryptopsy, the great Olivier Pinard. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, dude? I'm good, and you?
I'm very, very good. I'm
nice.
very good.
Good.
Let's give some people some context. This is actually the second time that we've recorded this interview.
Strike two.
Yeah. Take two. The first
Take
time
two,
was a strike three immediately.
Yeah.
So to give everyone a bit of context why that happened is we were on Hell Over Europe 2. We had just finished playing the last part of the European run of it. So
after a show in Netherlands.
Yes.
Before we hit the border.
Yes.
To the UK.
Sometimes, for some reason, whenever we end up going across the border, we tend to get really, really, really too drunk. I don't know why it happens, but Flo always tells us that day, don't drink too much, don't be embarrassing, we're crossing the border, you got to be serious, and somehow it just always unravels. So that time it absolutely did. And
apparently I'm very good at it.
we were standing in line at customs, and if I remember correctly, you had to rewrite your landing card.
Yeah, it was fucked up
because it was just nonsense.
Yeah.
So we had the great idea of after finally getting across the border to climb back into the bus, we were still awake. We'd have more beers. Why not record the podcast? So we listened to it a few days after, and we mutually decided that
it was the last episode.
It's an episode that is not going to come out. So here we are again.
Oh my god!
How have you been doing? This is the first episode that I've recorded in 2019. How have you been doing? How has life been? I know you've been really busy. For people that don't know, you're prepping to record the new Cattle Decapitation record.
Yep.
And you just came back from 2 weeks in California because you were at NAMM. Tell me about that.
Yeah, basically I had an invitation by Spectre Base, so I went there just to represent the company, represent the band, just to show the people something different. Because when you walk around at NAMM, there's a lot of different styles of musicians. There's especially for bass players, there's a lot of funky bass players. So when you showed up and you play with distortion and you hit hard, it's different. It's very different. So I was there to represent metal, extreme metal. So it was very cool. Yeah, I had the chance to hang out with a lot of friends, actually, like my good friend Jacob from Defeated Sanity, all the guys from Fit for an Autopsy, Immolation, all the guys from Immolation. I had the chance to hang out with them. So no, it was fun, but it's exhausting being at NAMM. There's so many people. It's crazy. It's overcrowded, and it's loud. One day was enough for me. I won't do it more than one day.
Did you have a booth where you were set up and you played some tunes, or you were just there hanging out?
I was just there hanging out. Had the chance to play a little bit at the Spectre booth, but it wasn't an official demo or clinic or whatever. It was just me playing, trying some new models. And no, that's it.
What would be your favorite thing from the weekend?
At NAMM?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to be surrounded by all these musicians that I used to worship. Like, for example, you walk around and boom, Mick Thompson from Slipknot. You just the bass player from Slipknot. What is it? Alessandro?
Yes.
He was there, but
the dude that was in London.
Chance to talk to him because he was so far away. It's hard to just maintain a conversation because everyone is there for the same reason: is to sell their product or to do some PR for the band or whatever. So it's kind of hard to just maintain a good conversation because everyone is so busy. Yeah.
Who is the top contact you feel like you met?
Contact?
Something that you think that your career will benefit from in the future.
At NAMM?
Having been there.
I don't know. It's really hard to say because I didn't. Maybe Dark Glass Electronics. Just being at the Dark Glass booth with all the crew. It was fun. This company is getting bigger and bigger every year. It's amazing how big they are now and how popular. But they have quality products, so they deserve it.
Yeah, let's explain what Dark Glass is for people that don't understand.
It's a company, they built... They start by building pedals, like distortion pedal for bass, but distortion and preamp, and now they do a lot of different effects. There's a lot of different pedals. I didn't try all of them, but it's pretty good. And now they do their own amps as well, like bass head. I use one of them. I use the Microtube 900, which is amazing because it's like a MacBook. It's so small and so light that it's not even 5 pounds. Yeah. So it's perfect when I fly, like when we tour in Europe. It's my carry-on luggage. It's perfect. It can fit under the seat. Versus
what you used to have, which was this giant box that would take two guys to carry.
Yeah, the big bird. I hate her. But now she's retired now. She's done.
Let's drink a beer.
Yeah.
We're lucky. Vices&Versa has many beers, so we decided to do the first Vox&Hops Taster's Platter. So before us, we have 6 beers.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll work our way through them slowly. I'll list them off all one by one now, and then we'll go through them one by one as we go. So the first one we're going to drink is the Funk Royale from Brasserie Dunham. And then we're going to move our way to Saison Ours by Sutton, and then 15 Vices by Matera. And then 4 Champagne from Brasserie Haricana, Stout Imperial from Vruden, and the Turbo Brute number 3 from C7, which I have to Google to know what C7 is because I don't even know what that is. We'll start with Dunham. It's this nice little pink one here.
This one?
Yeah. It's going to be a nice sour beer. From what I've read, it is a Saison.
Interesting color.
It's beautiful, yeah. I've actually read that rosé beer is going to be the next big thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Let's try this.
It is the sassiest Saison of the season, and it's it's a photo-age plum grisette, and it's supposed to be dry, funky, and a little tart. Cheers.
Funky.
The nose is sweet.
Whoa. Yeah.
It's really, really very extremely tart.
Yeah.
Sour.
It's good, but it's not my cup of tea.
No, I'm not sure I would...
Like a taster like that, it's perfect for me.
A full pint.
I won't drink a full pint of this. But it's good. It's good.
Maybe on a hot summer day in the sun.
Yeah, maybe for a summertime. For me, it will work better.
So what else did you do in California after NAMM?
I joined a guy from Cattle before NAMM. I spent 10 days with them. We worked on some new materials, some new songs, and so far so good, man. At the moment we have 8 songs, but it's not complete yet. It's just 8 strong, solid skeleton, if I can say, like canvas. Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna add stuff like layers, a lot of different layers, especially the vocals, because now there's no vocals, so it's so weird to listen to Cattle Decap without the vocals. Like, there's something missing, you know? There's a huge part missing.
He's such a crucial part of the band.
Oh yeah, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be his biggest album for Travis. But for the band, it's gonna be a major album. It's a major release. But I mean, for Travis, for his vocal wise, it's gonna be huge. Like, get ready for some catchy chorus and stuff like that. It's great.
How did you end up in Cattle Decapitation?
How?
Yeah.
Back in 2013, they were on Summer Slaughter, and for a reason, Derek, the old bass player, he was not allowed. He couldn't make it to Canada, so he wrote me. He asked me to fill for him. So it was the perfect timing. It was just after a Cryptopsy tour, so I was like, okay, I can do it. So I had to learn. It was just 25 minutes because it's Summer Slaughter. It's a short set, but I had to learn five or six songs, and without any practice with the band, without rehearsal. I just jumped on stage, and I remember I was so stressed. Before the show, we played Toronto was my first show with them, and I was backstage, and I went to Josh, the guitar player. He was warming up, and I was like, "Hey, dude, you want to jam a little bit? Just practice some stuff." And he was like, "No, you're gonna be good." Like, oh, thanks.
The Big D sent you tabs, or you picked it all up by ear?
Yeah. He sent me all the tabs because otherwise I will have. I think I had 3 weeks notice, and one of them I was on tour with Cryptopsy with you guys in Eastern Europe.
Yes.
So basically I had to learn all the songs in 2 weeks. So yeah, I needed the tabs at that moment. But the rest of the catalogs, when I joined the band last year, it's all by ear. They sent me just the bass tracks, isolated bass tracks, and I had to
just pick them up.
Yeah.
Because once
a big challenge for me.
Once Big D was no longer in the band, they immediately thought of you because it went well for those shows.
Yeah. Actually, Travis, me and Travis had a good relationship. Like, we were good friends. So yeah, I had that feeling. After those shows in 2013, I had a feeling that, man, there's something special. With this band. And I don't know, a few years later, 4 years later, when they called me, I was like, without any hesitation, I was like, all right, let's try it, man. Because at first I was just a session guy. We played three shows last year as a session guy, and then they just asked me, you want to be in the band? You want to be on the next records? No, for sure, man. It's like, I didn't want to miss the boat, and I was like, no, I need that gig,
So you didn't have any apprehensions or worries about the clashing with Cryptopsy?
Oh, of course. It's I'm a little bit anxious some moment when I think about it, because I'm like, it's gonna be intense, like touring wise, because I might miss some shows with Crypto or Cattle. It's gonna be hard just to fit both schedule, but at the end of the day, I think we can work something. We can do something about it, because I don't know, we all have different projects in life, like family, studio, own personal business, and for myself, I just try to be a bass player, full-time bass player. So that's why I was like, I need that gig. I can't miss that.
I remember when you were contemplating taking it or not, and I just absolutely said you should take it because it's a big opportunity and you can't miss out. And in my opinion,
I remember. Yeah, I was working in a food truck
at the Jazz Fest,
at the Jazz Festival in
Montreal,
and it was the very same day that morning. Travis asked me,
That's
and
so funny.
You showed us. I was like, no, I had to tell him because I was so stressed. And then I called Chris, and Chris said the same thing. He said, "Dude, do it. You need to do it. Like, don't miss that opportunity."
I think we'll make it work. We'll figure it out. We'll announce it right now. We're doing the Hell Over America, the Blast Beat Party, coming up from March 20th to about April 20th, and then we're home for a few weeks, and then we're going to Europe, and you're not going to be there.
Nope.
How do you feel about that?
It's weird. Right now, I don't realize it that much. Probably when I'm gonna see some live footage, or what, or just when you guys gonna be in Europe, and I will be, because I won't be on that tour, because I will be in studio with Cattle. We have to mention this. It's not like I'm just staying home and do nothing. No. I'm gonna be in studio, but still, it's gonna be weird not to be with you guys. It's gonna be the first time in since 2012 that
I'm
the
on
band
stage
play with,
without you,
yeah,
with playing Cryptopsy.
that the band play with a different bass player, so it's gonna. For me, it's weird.
Yeah.
He's gonna be weird, you know. But
right now, you're training someone.
can we
Sure, why
name
not?
the guy? Yeah, Dom, my good friend Dom from Iron Dissonance and the last Fellini is gonna fill for me. So right now I'm training the guy. Show him all the parts, and the good thing, he lives like 15 minutes away from
he's
my
a solid
place, so
player. We've known him for years.
he's working with Chris, like studio wise.
Yeah.
So
And when you're touring, you want to be comfortable versus just having the best player. Not that he's not a good player, that's not what I'm saying, but I'd rather take someone that I know that I can live with.
Yeah, he's gonna be
versus someone that I can stand on stage only.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
He's gonna fit well with you guys. He's cool.
He's funny.
dude.
Yeah.
He likes good beers as well. So.
There we go. Yeah.
So him and Chris together, man, it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah. So we're hitting Europe. Dom's going to be there playing bass. We're doing the Netherlands Death Fest. We're doing the Dreamer Fest, and then we're doing some little.
What's the Dreamer Fest? Is the one in France?
I don't know, but I should. I just knew the name. You've called me out on it. Now I don't know.
The Dreamer Fest. Le Festival du Rêveur.
C'est un rêve. It is in France. You're absolutely right. In Saint-Omer.
Ah.
Yeah. So we're doing that, and then we're doing a few dates and leading up into the first time up in Scandinavia for a long time. I've never been to Scandinavia with
That's the thing. I will love to play Scandinavia. Sweden. You guys were going to play Sweden. 3
dates, I think, in Sweden.
And Oslo in Norway.
Yeah. And then we make
I've
our
never
way
been
back
there, so
into Germany and stuff, and then we're going to head back home. So more details of that will be announced probably shortly after this podcast comes out. So you guys are all getting a little sneak peek.
Boom.
Let's talk about beer a little bit.
Sure.
When did you start getting into craft beer? What was the beer that...
I think I was 2 years old or something. Craft beer. No joke. When I started drinking, when I was younger, at 16, 17, my first pick was always the Unibrew. Just because of the branding, because I thought it was so cool, like La Maudite, like the Devils, and I don't know, just the branding. Like I always choose a book by his cover. I always same for a CD. I pick the best artwork. I don't care what's about the music. I just want the best looking artwork.
Which is why you have a whole Iron Maiden leg.
That's it. I'm a Maiden, guys. But no joke. But yeah, so Unibrew. So I think since that I always been into good beers, I guess, because I never really been into Budweiser, Coors Light, all that stuff. I never liked it. Never passed Blue Ribbon. Like, I don't see the point of drinking that. Don't get me wrong, if I have no other choice, like if it's 4 a.m. in a tour bus and that's all we have, I'm gonna take care of it for sure. You know that.
Well, not you. It's never you.
No, it's not me. It's the other dude.
The other side of you.
Fucking asshole. Elo. The legendary Elo.
What would be your top beer of the moment?
At the moment? Ooh. I don't know. I really love all the New England IPA kind of stuff. But to pick one, it's hard. Because there's like the classic, the Boreal Nord-Est, which is amazing.
Just got ranked number 1 on Rate Beer.
It is?
Yeah, number 1 IPA. Yeah.
It's really good.
It's very solid.
But I really like the Shelton one. It's...
Because
it's easier to...
The New England IPA or the IPA du jour?
New England. But IPA du jour, it's really good. Winter time, I really love the porter, the Tennessee 13 from Pit Caribou.
Aged in bourbon there?
Oh my god.
I think it just came out. I gotta find one. I think it just came out, yeah.
I have one at home. Like, I just wait for the right moment. Like, coldest day, you know?
You're much more conservative and able to contain yourself.
But no.
If I have beer at my house, I drink them.
Actually, that's the only one I have, because otherwise they won't stay longer in the fridge. Nope.
Next beer, Saison d'Ours, Auberge Satin Brewery.
What number?
Number 9. Yeah. So it's a Saison. It smells a bit sweet.
Yeah.
Its color is almost like straw.
Whoa.
It's a nice drinkable, very drinkable beer.
Yep.
especially after the sour one.
After the sour one.
Yeah.
What's the name of that beer again? The Saison
d'Ours. Saison Ours.
Saison Ours. Interesting.
It's good. It's not bad at all. Sutton is a nice little place.
That's from Sutton?
Yeah.
What brewery again?
Sutton
Brewery. I think I went there 2 years ago.
You did, yeah. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Okay. What's the name of that?
Auberge Sutton.
Auberge Sutton. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I went there with my girlfriends. We spent the night at the brewery, and we had a room upstairs, so then we can bring the beers upstairs. It's really cool. It was nice, cozy place. It's perfect for vacation. Summertime at Sutton is beautiful. But Sutton, we have a cool story about Sutton. We play a wedding.
Was it in Sutton?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We played.
I forgot about a lot of things that night.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so we show up at this wedding. It's outside. And it was like in August, I want to say. Or like September.
Yeah, September.
Okay. And
2014. It was before
we weren't doing much at the time.
Book of Suffering. So yeah,
we got hired by the bride to be a secret present for her husband, who was a huge Cryptopsy fan. So she hires us to come in to play 2 songs.
Yeah, we played Phobophile and Initiate.
That's right. So we show up in the middle of the afternoon. They're not there. The couple are at the church or somewhere else or something.
Yeah, it was the ceremony, the wedding ceremony.
And we sound checked. Everything went fine. We played in this tent, and then we had to leave because we were surprised. So we go into town. We find this little pub, which had karaoke.
Actually, we went to 2 or 3 different pubs because we spent like all the rest of the afternoon on a terrace. Then we went to a restaurant. You mean keep drinking? We were keeping drinking, and then we went to the karaoke place, and we were already drunk, and then we had to play. And
Chris sang his Bon Jovi.
Before that, remember we had dinner in a secret room, and we had wines.
Yes. Long story short, the whole bridal party and everyone at the wedding goes outside of the tent at one point
fireworks
to launch up these like Chinese lanterns up into the sky, and they all come back inside, and there we are. We start playing Phobophile.
No, we start with Initiate.
Was it Initiate first?
We started with Initiate.
Chris's guitar cuts out.
Yeah, so it was just bass. Acoustic drums,
discovered
no trigger, nothing.
That when I get drunk, I forget all my words, and I was completely lost. And
it was terrible.
It was really
it was terrible.
Event. We're sorry, whoever the groom was. I wish I remembered him. We owe you some more songs. Yeah. He enjoyed it. He was super into it.
We hired a guy to document all of this. He filmed Anthony.
You're right.
Anthony, he filmed everything. So we have the footage about the wedding somewhere.
You're right.
We just need to pay the guy. That's it.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah. It could have been a cool video. Can you imagine? Cryptopsy play a wedding.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And right after we played Phobophile, it was how they call that? The first dance. You know?
Yeah.
So the
first dance. That's it. Yeah. Bride and groom first dance. And the grandmother just looking at me while I'm screaming.
Like,
it was too funny. That's true. I'd forgotten about that. Go Sutton. We're
Hail Sutton.
We're Cryptopsying through them. Hail Sutton.
Hail Sutton.
Next beer. This is the beer that I was most excited to taste. With 15 Vices, ou 15 Vices, from Matera. Matera is the brewery that brews Stoutin Stout, which was my top beer of the week a few weeks ago. And I just like I like that place. Matera.
It's going to be the first time I try this one.
Oh, 15 Vices, Matera. Oh, it smells wonderful. It smells like citrusy hops.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of like alcohol-y, boozy. It's only 6.5% though.
Number 15?
Number 11. We're looking at the big board here where they have all their brews listed.
Oh yeah. It's my favorite so far.
What is one of your craziest tour stories?
there is a lot. There's
that you feel like sharing.
Crazy tour story. But first, my first European tour with you guys in 2013 with Cattle Decap and Decrepit Bird. I think it was in Germany. Me and Chris got locked inside of the venue. No, it wasn't the venue. It was like the backstage area, but it was a different building next to the venue. And me and Chris, I think bus call was at 5 a.m. So me and Chris spent the night over there just for the Wi-Fi, basically. And then it was 4 a.m. So we were like, okay, it's time to go. But then we realized we were locked in the building, and there was no way to unlock the door. We needed a key, and we needed someone outside to unlock the door for us with a key. So we're like, fuck, what are we supposed to do? So I think, I don't know, we contact the TM, the tour manager, or I can't remember exactly
what. They must have texted one of us.
Yeah, we tried to contact everyone on the bus, basically. And
this is like in 2013, so we didn't have the cell phone packages that we have now.
I didn't have my cell phone actually, but no, I think I had, because we had Wi-Fi.
No, we had the phones, but we didn't have cell phone packages, like the cellular data package.
Yeah. So it took at least a good 20 to 30 minutes before people realized that we were missing. And then, I don't know, we were just knocking on the door, help, and yelling and help us. And out of sudden, Bill, the lead singer of Decrepit Bird, and Big D, the Cattle Decap bass player back then, they just smashed the door. They start kicking the door, and basically they just destroyed the whole thing.
I remember this very well.
And Bill said, "This is Buster."
I have a video of this somewhere. I'll try to put it in the link somehow.
This is Buster.
Basically, I remember we tried to contact the promoter. Nobody could get a hold of him. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. He's obviously sleeping.
And then the next day, the promoter he sent a message to Stefano, the tour manager,
He
said, was it Stefano?
Stefano was the TM of the tour.
Okay, so
he was doing sound and TM.
So yeah,
shout out to Stefano from Italy. We love
Stefano, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he sent a message. I'm gonna sue. No, not sue you, but
we have to pay the damages.
Yeah, you need. No, I think he said, I'm going to sue you guys for vandalism or something like that. And Stefano said, and I'm going to sue you for kidnapping, motherfucker. And then we never heard about it.
In Rostock, Germany.
Was it?
Yeah, I remember very well. I remember very well.
I don't.
That's very funny. Very funny. I remember that.
But that's so many stories. A lot of alcohol story. Goddamn. Should we talk about that Wolfstein?
If you feel up to it, I'm open for any conversations.
I don't mind.
So we had this drive. It was the summer of 2017 on the None So Live tour,
part 2
in Europe. We were playing None So Vile in its entirety, and we had this ridiculous long. We had a day off, but we had to drive from Manchester, England, to
Germany, or no.
No, into Austria, Carlton back.
That's it.
It was an impossible drive. It was not feasible with one driver. We only had one driver, and the other guys were not insured to drive. There was the ferry to think about, the time change. Everything was working against us. So we were playing at
Partisan. After Partisan.
Yes, and this guy comes up to us and says, I'm a promoter.
And I have this black metal and pagan festival called the Wolfstein something. Yeah. And then he said, and every year I want a surprise act.
That's right.
I want a death metal band. And he said, every year we have at least one death metal band. And this year I will... No, actually, I think he said, I would love to have Cryptopsy for next year. Mm-hmm. But then we were like, dude, we can do it this year. We are free. We're supposed to drive, but it will make more sense to play that show instead.
So we canceled Manchester. So we canceled Manchester and went straight there. And we played in the afternoon.
It wasn't that bad.
We were a surprise band because the fans were like, what is this?
Yeah, but remember later that night, some people at the bar told us...
Making fun of my screaming, remember?
Yeah, they did. And then they said, dude, you're the first death metal band to play the festival. ever. So it was a lie. It was a lie that we were the first death metal band. So the guy just lied to us.
It was a nice festival. That was a nice festival.
Yeah, and in the middle of the wood, we get super black metal.
We get set up in these beds, which was in an old schoolhouse.
Yeah.
So it's like a big long hallway with rooms on either side. With 12 beds in every room.
It was really weird, yeah. Really, really weird.
Just like a camp, you know.
Yeah, we were like tired by that point, so we were just happy to lie down. And we start having some beers. They gave us some coupons. They gave us... But it sort of like just unraveled once you met up with Serpent.
Yeah.
From Belphegor.
Yeah, that's when
I'll let you take over this story.
Got weird. We were already drunk, and me and Serpent, the bass player from Belphegor, we just... destroy a bottle of vodka, of Absolute vodka. We drank the whole thing, the two of us, and I don't remember anything. Like, honestly, I don't remember anything. And we were in their dressing room, and I remember the whole band was there. You were there, Flo, Chris were there. And at some point, Chris, because I was sharing the room with Chris, he was like, "Oh man, I'm tired. I'm going to bed, man." So and I had the key, so yeah, I gave him the key, but I told him, "Dude, when I come back and I knock at the door, open the door. That's it." "All right, no problem." I don't know what happened. After we were done, me and Serpent, I was like, "Okay, I'm going back to my room." I knock at the door. Nobody answered. Like, Chris wasn't there. Like, fuck. And I start like, I don't know. I was freaking out. I'm like, oh, shit. Where's Chris? What am I supposed to do? I'm not gonna sleep on the floor. What the fuck? So I smashed the door, and it was a glass. Like, the door. It was like a old school. How do you say that? Blindy? No, like
double paned glass.
Yeah. And
it was like a small window that you could look into.
Yeah.
So you start banging on that.
And I just destroyed the window.
But from what I remember, there was a big dude. There was a big dude.
Yeah, before I destroyed the window, there's this German dude. Like,
because other people were sleeping in this place too.
The dude came at me. He's like, "Yo, shut up! We tried to sleep." And I don't remember personally, but apparently I started yelling at the guy.
And the guy was scared of you.
The guy was scared of me. Dude, I'm a midget. What the fuck?
So you kicked the window.
Then I kicked the door, the window, like the glass window, and I
would have loved to have seen this.
My leg was cut wide open, and then I remember then I punched the door because my wrist. No, not my wrist. My
knuckles.
My knuckles were like the next day I was bleeding. I was like, what?
Yeah. The Kaltenbach festival was the next day and the last day of that tour, and they had a good first aid.
Yeah. Thank
they hooked him up good. So we woke up the next morning. This is my memory. I wake up the next morning and I was already a bit out of it. And I went walking in, and you guys, "Don't walk there. There's a bunch of glass." And I was like, "What's going on?" And there was blood all over your bed. And what happened before? Like we would like repiece the stories of everyone's night afterwards. Is like Chris got lost going back to
Chris was worried about me. He said, "Oh, I need to find Ollie because he's not gonna make it because it was dark outside. It was really really dark.
Like super.
We were in the middle of the wood. Like there was
see all
no
the stars.
lights.
Yeah.
So it will have been easy to get lost, you know. So Chris was like super worried about me. So he tried to find me, and meanwhile I was on my way back to the room.
And so you missed each other somehow.
So we missed each other, but anyway. So basically, when he came back, I would just lay down on the floor in front of the.
Oh, you never got into the door, even though you broke the window.
And I tried to fit in that window.
Do you remember this though?
Nope. Nope. But I think that's what I did. I'm not sure. Basically, honestly, I'm not sure. But I think that's what happened.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and I just lay down on the floor in the broken glass, blood everywhere. And Chris came back. He saw me like on the floor on the glasses and blood everywhere, and he was freaking out. He was like, "Oh shit, he's dead. Oh, he's dead. Holy fucking shit." And
maybe that big German guy wasn't afraid of you, and he actually just beat you up, and that we've built this whole story.
Maybe
seem like that you're tough.
Maybe I got my ass kicked by this dude.
And he tried to fit you through the window.
No! Fuck off! What is your favorite part of touring?
Free booze. Next question. No. Obviously, playing the show. Because when you're on tour, sometimes you... after a while, you just... sometimes it's really boring, you know? Being on the road, you do nothing, you just wait to play. And then every day you ask yourself, why I'm here, you know? But when you hit the stage, everything makes sense again. It's like, oh yeah, that's why I'm here. That's the cool parts of the day. It's like something special, you know? There's nothing in this world that can compare to it. I can't compare this feeling to anything because it's unique. It's you're on stage, you play music. It's like, I don't know, it's like almost like a therapy. You know, I don't know. When you play a show, something special is happening to you inside, and especially when it's a good show, when the crowd reacts good to your set, and
it could be a hangover cure.
It's always a hangover,
like in London on Hell Over Europe.
London. Yeah, London. That was Let's talk about it.
I've never been so hungover,
dude.
It was the night after the podcast.
It's right after that. The Lost Episode of Vox&Hops.
Here we go.
No, here we go.
This is Vox&Hops.
And we were so hangover. The whole day I was asking myself, how I'm gonna be able to play tonight. Like I'm a zombie right now. I was not able to eat. Like, I was too fucked up.
The food wasn't very good, so that helped too.
Dirty spaghetti. God damn. Anyway, but we played well. Actually, it was like
it was great.
Almost every night we played it well most of the time, even when we are hangover. Sometimes better. We're better hangover. You know?
That show was really good, and the crowd was one of the craziest crowds I've ever played.
And that night, the Slipknot bass player was in the crowd, and then he messaged us. He sent us a message. He was like, "I really like your show." Blah 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 blah. I was like, "What?
Yeah,
we were so hangover." And we never know, huh?
You never know who's there, what's happening
in the crowd, and that was cool. That was a cool moment, though. The rest of the night was cool. I remember we drank that night too. We went to a little
pub down the street.
Yeah. We had a few cocktails.
What is a tour or a band that you have not played with, or a tour that you've not done that you would like to do? Yeah.
But there's a lot. But a logical choice for Cryptopsy, for example, I would love to tour with Meshuggah. Like, I think it's so different, but I think it will make sense in a certain way because it's both super intricate. It's, I don't know, it's for music nerds. I think so. Yeah. And Meshuggah, I'd love to tour with Dillinger, but now they're done. But I'd love to do that.
They're done for now.
For now,
they're coming back. I'm calling it.
Never say never. What else? Obviously, Cannibal Corpse. We did it, but we'll tour with them anytime because it's such a... For death metal, is the best stage to play. It's supporting Cannibal Corpse. But if we think big, I would say Slayer. Yeah, Slayer, big time. Because anyway, they are on their farewell tour for the next 10 years. So maybe we're next.
You know, maybe we're low on the list, and we might hit that eighth last year
like
of
maybe,
touring.
Yeah, like Cryptopsy and Slayer into 20, maybe, I don't know, 2025.
The final one
ever. Yeah, right.
Okay, moving on to our next beer. We're moving on to the Turbo B number 3. It smells cidery. I think we ordered a cider.
Maybe.
Yeah.
C7 might be cider.
Yeah, no, I think
cider 7 or...
Yeah, I think it's a cider. It's not a beer at all. Oh, well. We'll drink it anyways.
That's bullshit. Not bad, actually.
Let's talk about your love of wrestling. As you said, that's bullshit. It reminded me.
Bullshit. My love for wrestling. My love for wrestling is bigger than my love for music.
Really? You think so?
No. No, it's just something that since I'm young, like maybe 7, 8 years old, I've always been, I don't know, attracted by wrestling. It's so much fun. You just can turn your brains off and just enjoy the moment. And it's stupid. Like, everybody knows it's stupid, but I don't know. It's not worse than any reality shows or, I don't know. I think all the script and the storyline are so cheap and weak, but it's so funny at the same time. And I don't know. I don't know why I love this, actually. It's just, there's something, every time I watch wrestling, I have fun.
I gotta tell you,
every single time.
When I was a kid, I liked it a lot. I watched it with my dad. The whole, late Hulk Hogan era.
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior. What's his name?
The classic, the Macho Man.
Macho Man and the bad guy.
Jake Snake?
Yes, and Bret Hart, of course.
The $1 Million Man.
And then I rediscovered wrestling on tour with you.
Yeah.
Devastation of the Nation.
Yeah.
You and Alexander Kendrick.
Yeah.
Avid wrestling fans. And we had wrestling nights, and it was fun. It was really fun.
It was a lot of fun, actually.
It's like nothing's changed, but everything's a little bit different.
Yeah. It's all because WWE is still run by the McMahon, so it's the same all over again since the 80s. It's always the same story. They just change the character. They try to be modern. Like right now, it's the, how they call that? It's the reality era, I would say, because now every time they promote something, it can be like, oh, this guy, he tweets something about me and blah, blah,
really
blah. Yeah, but it's all fake.
Yeah,
they try to make you believe that it's real because they try to build something outside of the show, but everything is script. It's part of the show, actually. Like when Bill Goldberg came back 2 years ago, he went to ESPN and he just, I don't know, I can't remember, he talked shit about Brock Lesnar or whatever, but it was all script. It was part of the show, but outside of the show, you know what I mean? So
it's smart still.
I think it's smart, but they have no other choice. They need to be
relevant.
That's it. Because otherwise, man, they can't do the same thing. The
UFC.
It's almost like the UFC. Basically, they try to do the exact same promotion as UFC fighting wise. Like I don't know. They try to build personal story instead of supernatural thing like back then when the Undertaker. He's a dead man.
He was one of my favorites, yeah.
Dude, when I was a kid, I was sure he was a dead man for real. Like, dude, this guy has some magical power, or I don't know. But
I was very, very disappointed in the American Badass, though, when he came back. Was that it? Was it the American? Is that the right name? No?
I liked it. You know why? Because Kid Rock did this song. I am American Badass. Like it. Hello, call my motherfucking name. They call me Ball with the motherfucking ball. Ball with the ball. Yeah, that's my jam.
Who is your favorite all-time wrestler?
Wrestler?
Yeah.
Undertaker.
Okay.
Yeah, big time. But nowadays, I would say Kevin Owens.
Really?
He's the man.
I was expecting Brock Lesnar for some reason.
Yes and no. Because I really love to make the jokes about Brock. Because the inside joke is me calling myself Brock. I pretend to be Brock Lesnar, but I'm the complete opposite of Brock Lesnar.
Ollie's very short.
I'm a midget. That's why.
No, midgets. I think midgets are 4'10" and lower. Little people, they like to be called now.
But no, I love just the fact that Brock is the most relevant guy. Because he's a UFC champion, but he was a UFC champion, but he's a dude. He's a scary dude, man. He can
hurt someone,
but big time.
Kevin Owens is from Montreal.
But Kevin Owens, not only because he's from Montreal, but he's funny. Every time he cut a promo, I mean, he is so damn funny. Like, it's so entertaining just to listen and watch the dude. And he's a great wrestler, but he's a fat dude. But he's I don't know, he managed to do all these tricks, like all the flip and the jump from the third ropes and stuff like that. Yeah. So like, you don't expect a big dude to do that kind of stuff.
You'll have to educate me on the Hell Over America last week party. You and Kendrick bring me to
It's
school.
April 7. It's a WrestleMania night.
We'll be in Alabama.
Alabama. I feel sorry for the people if they hate of April. I'm sorry.
Why is
I'm
that
going
the
to be
day after?
suing or...
Who do you think is the next up-and-coming death metal band?
Whoa. I finally listened to that band that Chris always talk about, Shadow of Intent. The vocalist is monstrous.
Oh, yes, that's who Sven said that he was the
yeah, I
up-and-coming
think
best vocalist.
he mentioned that dude. Yeah. Death metal band. It's hard to say because honestly, these days I don't listen to a lot of death metal. I listen to a lot of black metal for a reason.
Really?
Yeah. It's weird. Like a band like Glow Your Belly, or I really love. I don't know if I can pronounce that right, but the Polish band Mgła.
No.
MJLA. Mgła.
Oh, yes. I saw a bunch of shirts of that on tour. When we were in
Dude, this
Europe.
band is amazing.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this and... oh, no. Death metal band. Vitriol. Dude. It's like... A very serious version of Eight Eternal kind of band. They don't fuck around. Like, I saw some live video and it's pretty impressive. Like, it's a 3-piece, like one guitar player, vocalist, one bass player, vocalist, and a drummer, and it's intense. It's really intense, but they're really good. So I'm gonna keep an eye on them. I think right now they just have 2 EPs. Or 1 EP and a single, something like that. But check them out. Vitriol. Are really, really good. Yeah.
As I was mentioning earlier, I'd love to do like a US run, smaller club shows, us headlining, but with like solid opening acts. So maybe that could be a band that could be an option.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Why not? And there's a buzz on them on the internet. I don't know if it's relevant or not. Because the dude, the guitar player, he did a bunch of playthrough video, but he's really intense. You can feel like he love what he's doing. Like he's just not there sitting being a nerd with his guitar. No, the guy he's headbanging and he's really into it. So yeah, check it out. Vitriol.
Next beer is from Brasserie Haricana, my second home. Love that place. It's Champagne Numero 4, which is a Belgian-inspired triple beer. A triple Belgian-inspired beer, which has been fermented with a levure de champagne. So it's like a brut-style, triple Belgian-style beer.
Like du mou de raisin.
Yeah. It's going to be special, of course, because it's Haricana. Ooh.
Nice.
Color again is like light straw. Nose is very like malty almost.
Yeah, I really like this one.
Taste wise is
it's refreshing,
boozy, but yet refreshing.
Yeah, for summertime for sure. That's a good choice.
Delicious, very delicious. Love Brasserie Haricana. Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
It's been a while since I've been there, but they have good food as well.
What is the best piece of advice that you received as a musician starting out?
As a musician?
Yeah.
It's going to sound cheesy, but just stay true to yourself, I would say. I never try to... never try to fit in a mold if you don't belong there. Like... Example, a lot of especially my parents and a lot of my friends is like, if you want to be a professional musician and do that as a living, you should play something more mainstream or whatever. Nah, I'm not into it. I'm not gonna be happy at the end of the day. Like, I just start to imagine myself being like on the road. It's just a scenario, but imagine like playing for Justin Bieber. It's a big gig, and it's a different world, basically. But I don't think I will be happy because, like I said earlier, the fun part of being on tour is playing the show. But if I don't enjoy the show, what's the point? You know what I mean?
That interaction,
yeah. But it's always depend. It depends because I said Justin Bieber, but. Could be anything else, but I enjoyed a lot of pop artists, to be honest. But I don't know. It's just
what's the pop artist you enjoy the most that embarrasses you the most?
What?
The potentially most embarrassing pop artist you do enjoy.
Embarrassing?
You're not embarrassed by it, but
no.
If you know,
but it's pop
a metal hater
it's,
heard it.
But I don't know. It's not gonna be embarrassing, whatever. But I love Post Malone. I think he's super catchy.
He's almost a metalhead at this point.
That's why I said I'm not embarrassed to say that, because, dude, this guy has more posts on Metal Injection and Blabbermouth than me. So
it's true.
He's metal as fuck.
It's true.
So Post Malone, I think he's cool. But no, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed of anything. I don't. Back then, I used to be, because I was a real metal guy, you know. But now I'm like, I don't care. I love a lot of different music. My playlist on my phone is like diversified. I listen to jazz, like hip hop, blues, death metal, black metal, grindcore, everything. If I like it, if I like the music, I'm not gonna stop just because of a name. Like, oh, it's called hip hop, I shouldn't like it. I don't mind, dude. If I like it, I like it. That's it.
We touched on cattle, but we didn't really hit up Akurion.
Yeah.
Well, when is that? Give people a rundown of what that is.
So yeah, right. The album is done. It's complete. We have the final master version. We have the artwork, the artwork, the layout. It's all done. So right now we are looking for maybe a label. We're not sure yet, because we're not gonna sign with anybody just to be on a label. We need a good deal, or we're thinking maybe independent. If there's no good deal and it's better for us to be independent, I think that's what we're gonna do. But we don't know yet. Right now, we are looking for a label. I would say we are sending our stuff to labels, and we'll see.
What is the biggest obstacle? The fact of the finances, or the fact of the minimal touring that you guys have in mind?
Because we don't want to tour.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to play a show.
You don't think you'll ever play a show?
At first, when we started this project, we were not supposed to play any shows. But
not even here in Montreal.
No. But now we are thinking about it. We're like, if the offer is right, why not? Like, we never say no, you know. But we're not gonna go play the foofs and sell tickets, or stuff like that. We're not gonna pay to play. So we just, if the offer is right, we'll do it. But otherwise, no. We're not running for a show. We're not running after it. Like,
how long has this project been in the works?
Longer than I am in Cryptopsy. We start Akurion right after Neuraxis, because I was with Neuraxis, and our last show we did was October 2011, and I think in November of that year, Rob and Mike DiSalvo started that project, and in the beginning of 2012, Rob asked me if I want to be with them and to join the project. So like, yeah. So we start writing some music. So basically the three first songs we wrote for Akurion, they were supposed to be for maybe a future Neuraxis album. When the album's gonna be out, you'll
can
notice
feel it.
There's three songs
that are different than the
others, and that they were supposed to be something else.
I've heard some of it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I can't wait to release it. It's been so long, man. Like, for me, all the songs are old. It's old stuff. Like, we wrote the majority of the song in my old apartment, me and Rob, just the two of us jamming, like the old school way to do it. It's just writing music together, and we took our time, man. Dude, like I said, we started in 2012. Now it's 2019 and the album is not out yet. It's
crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's done. The album is mixed, mastered, it's all done. And dude, we have Luc Lemay on the album. He did an orchestration. But it's not just an orchestration. He wrote a song for us. It's like a 4 or 5 minute pieces just orchestra with strings, violin, and all that stuff. It's epic, man. It's so good. And like the song he did
from
Gorguts on Colored Sand.
Yeah,
he did.
It's beautiful.
But he did a track like that for us.
So you have Luke.
We have Luke. We have Jean-Marie, which is he's a guitar player and singer and Vengeful, but not he's doing back vocals. And he's the original guy. He's the main writer.
Vengeful is Jean-Marie's band.
He's Jean-Marie.
Shout out to Jean-Marie.
Jean-Marie, but yeah, Jean-Marie is doing some back vocals on the album. And we also have Lord Worm. We have Wormy on the album. Actually, on the opening track of the album, we have Luke, Jean-Marie, and Wormy singing the chorus with Mike. So it's like a super epic chorus. And otherwise, we have Geneviève, which is Mike D's wife, which now she's she passed away too. So it's super
doing some clean vocals.
So it's like
very sentimental.
Big time. For Mike and
extremely
us,
emotional.
Super emotional part, especially the chorus she sings is like a duo with Mike. It's something unique that we can't recreate anytime. It's just so personal. The songs, the lyrics, everything. It's powerful. I remember when we gathered, me and Rob and Mike, and we listened to the final mixes, and we almost dropped tears because it was so sad to listen to that song. I was like, holy shit, man.
It's heavy.
That chorus, it's heavy. You know?
I want to talk about when you joined Cryptopsy and how John Levasseur called you, and then you lived at his house for a bit.
Yeah,
because I don't think people know about this. I know that we talked about this in part 1. So,
do you remember?
I remember. Yeah. It actually halfway through it turned into a real interview, but it took some time.
If you said so. But the thing is, it was somewhere in I think November 2011, and it was 9 a.m. on a weekday. I had a phone call from a unknown number. I was like, what the fuck? Who's calling me at that time of the day? Pick up the phone, and this guy was so intense, like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh shit. So I had to get up. I was like, hey, who's talking? I said, hey, it's John Levasseur. Like, what? John Levasseur? So in my mind, I didn't know. Cause I was like, no, there's no way he's gonna ask me to play bass for Cryptopsy, like, you know, there's no way. Why me, you know? But at the same time, I was like, why he's calling me? I don't even know the dude. I never met the guy or whatever, so why he's calling me? And then he told me, Chris Donaldson, he mentioned your name the other day because we were looking for a new bass player, and I work with Chris for the Neuraxis album, so that's how the things happen. Chris was like, oh man, I know this guy, man, Oli from Neuraxis, and Neuraxis they didn't split up, but they don't do much these days, so call him. So he gave me a call, so I was freaking out, man. And I think it was on the same day or the day after, John was like, okay, I'm coming over at your place, man. He showed up with his Stratocaster, man.
The guitar
with Stratocaster with EMG pickup, and he showed me Slit Your Guts, Cold Date, Warm Blood, and Phobophiles, and we just jammed those songs. And then he asked me, so we're gonna jam full band tomorrow, wanna come? Like, there's no real audition or whatever. No.
You know what's funny? I don't remember that jam.
I do remember. Oh my god!
Is that Flows?
At Flows.
In
the basement.
I don't remember that jam.
And I didn't have my bass cap, so I had to play in the PA. So my bass sound was terrible. It was shitty. But I don't know. Apparently, I did great that day. But it was weird because nobody told me, yeah, you're in the band. We did that jam, and then
you just kept getting called.
Yeah, John was like, okay, but I'm gonna come at my place, and I'm gonna teach you the new stuff, because it was before the self-title.
That's right.
So when I joined the band,
John had just come back.
He just came back, and he teach me those 3 songs, and then we jump on the new materials. So the first thing I had to do was to write some bass line on all the new stuff, and then he played Two Palm Torch. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, I never signed for this. But
that was song 7.
It was song 7.
It was song 7. He had it in his mind. He's like a dude that like had songs in his mind and had to get them out.
He had the full thing in his mind. That's disturbing.
He doesn't write guitar on his guitar. He writes them not on paper. He writes them in his mind and has to get them out.
Yeah, that's intense.
Very intense, fun dude.
But Two Palm Torch.
So you lived at his house?
Yeah, basically for 2 or 3 months, I spent 3 or 4 days a week at his house. I slept there. I woke up at 9 or 10. We played. We jammed together, me and John. The whole day, man. It was just playing Cryptopsy, and 3 times a week, 3 nights a week. Back then, we used to go at Flo's, jam. Sometimes really without intense. You guys, without you and Chris. It was just me, John, and Flo. And so I had to learn to do. I learned the new material in a month and a half or something, and wrote your parts. And it was intense, man. Really, really intense. But it was a challenge because John, the first thing he asked me, can you slap the bass? And I never did before.
Really?
Before Cryptopsy.
Really?
I did one. There's one part on Neuraxis that I just slapped for fun. And you know what's funny? When I did it on the Neuraxis album, because I wrote that song on Neuraxis called V, and there's that part is I ripped off a Cryptopsy riff and I slap on that riff, and Chris, because he was a producer, he told me, dude, it sounds like Cryptopsy. You owe Eric a sandwich. But it was after the Unspoken King. Oh. So Chris is like, but they don't do that anymore, so fuck off. You can do it. They're like, okay. And now here you are. So that was my first attempt at slapping the bass that was with Neuraxis. And then John asked me, I would love to have a bass player. We play some slap and stuff like that. So I bought a book of slap and I learned. Really? When I joined the band. I had no fucking idea. Because before that, I never slapped. I hated it. And now I love it, but it's just, I think I hated it because I was not able to do it. Yeah, you weren't comfortable with it. I was like, I can do it, so fuck that. That's shit. But now I'm comfortable doing it, so. Last beer. This is the Russian Imperial Stout from Vruden. We always keep the dark for last. As Cryptopsy would say, c'est du gros jus. Du gros jus tabarnak. C'est du bon jus. Good juice. Oh, it's coffee too. It's a Russian Imperial Stout Café de Vruden. It is extremely dark. It tastes like good coffee. Good. Bitter, very bitter. That's my kind of beer, especially wintertime. It's my to-go beer. It's so good. So what does your year look like? Let's recap with how busy Ollie's going to be. Okay. Wow. So... we're starting that tour, the all over North America. The Blast Beat Party. The Blast Beat Party start on March 19. So from March 19 till April 20. Something like that. I'll put all the ticket links in the description. Yep. And so I'm going to be with you guys doing that tour. Aborted, Cryptopsy, Benighted, and Hideous Divinity. Then right after that, I'm going to join the Cattle guys who are recording the new album. So it's going to be an intense process. It's going to be 2 months of touring, then studio, and I'm going to miss that tour, that May tour with Cryptopsy in Europe, but it'll be our most lucrative tour, of course. But so studio till June, half of June, I would say. And can we announce it? July? It'll be out by the time this is out, so go for it. All right, okay, so July we're doing the first Cryptopsy? It's our first, it's Cryptopsy's first Asian tour. Yeah. So I don't have all the dates right now, but I'm super excited for this. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be super fun. Yeah, it's super fun. So and there's other things in August and I can't say right now, but I'm going to be probably in the US. And then September, I don't know yet, but one thing is sure with Cryptopsy and Cattle releasing a new album right now.
You're gonna be busy.
I'm gonna be busy.
Yeah.
Like I think there's plans already for the fall.
There's discussions.
There's discussion
on both sides.
On both sides.
On both sides.
So.
All of this being said, it really just reinforces the fact that we should start writing Tome 3.
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
We should.
Yeah.
We should. Apparently, Chris have some stuff already.
I think we should do that.
Some riffs, and curious to hear that.
Thank you for coming here.
Yep.
Drinking good beer with me. Love this place.
Yep. We had this private section of the bar for us, nice, which is pretty cool.
Cheers, and to many more beers together, and I wish you all the success with Cattle. We'll make it work.
El Soten.
Hey, boys and girls, thank you so much for listening right to the end of Vox and Hops episode number 21 with Olivier Pinard. I call him Ollie. I like to call him Ollie. I'm more comfortable with that. As a reward, we talk a lot about this Lost episode. I dropped in a few little moments. Only me and him will really notice that I've spliced in something. As a reward for listening right to the end, I shall now play you the intro of the Lost episode with not Olivier Pinard, but with the infamous Elo. Here it is.
Here we go.
No, here we go.
This is Vox and Hops number 20.
Hey, you're Voxing Up.
Guys doing this for real?
This is with Elo.
Elo call my motherfucking name. They call me Ball with a motherfucking ball. And
this is my Vices.
Matthew met motherfucking Megaki, aka Dr. Dre Megaki.
Where are we right now?
I don't know.
Oh boy. Yeah. So now you get the gist of why that is the forgotten Lost episode. It gets messy and only messier from there on. I love talking with Ollie. He's a great guy. I'm very blessed to be able to tour with him. Coming up on the next episode of Vox and Hops. On Vox and Hops episode number 22, I had the pleasure of speaking with Dave Boucher. Now, who is Dave Boucher? Dave Boucher is the dude, the brain master, the man behind Extensive Enterprise. Extensive Enterprise is one of the biggest booking agents. He is one of the biggest booking agents in Montreal. There are the big boys like Eventco, Greenland, and then there's Dave. That being said, when I was in 3 Mile Scream and I got my first big gig, it was Dave that booked it. I've always held him in high esteem. He is the nicest dude, like, for considering how much he brings to the city scene-wise, he brings to the scene music-wise, and how many people he's connected with. He is so down to earth. He's always been super nice to me, even when I was a little opening act on one of his bills. We met up at one of Montreal's best bars, if not the best brew pub. It is. We met up at Yeux du Ciel. We met there right after this crazy snowstorm hit Montreal, and we both woke up and we messaged each other like, are you still down to meet? And we were like, I was like, yeah, well, I'm on foot, and he's like, well, I'm on foot. So we made our way there. We drank a excellent pint, and he tells me all about how he got into this crazy world of booking bands, some of the obstacles that comes with that, some advice that he'd have for future people, some of his best shows, his worst shows, the best moments, the worst moments. Check all that out on Vox and Hops episode number 22 with Dave Boucher from Extensive Enterprise. If you like this podcast, if you want to support it, the best way to do that is to go and rate it 5 stars. Why do that, you ask? Well, the more ratings that I get, it'll be easier for others to find when they're looking for the podcast. Rate it 5 stars, and it'll be easier for other people to find the podcast when they're looking for it. Also, you can share it with your friends if you know that they like tour anecdotes, if they like good beer, if they like hearing two metalheads sit down and talk about music. Share it out there. I appreciate all the kind words I've been getting recently. Every week I get more and more positive feedback. I really appreciate all of you listening to Vox and Hops and telling their friends about it. I just really feel grateful, and I sincerely appreciate all the support that I've been receiving. Keep it going. Keep sharing it. If you haven't liked the Facebook page or liked any of the social pages, please do subscribe. And I'll keep coming at you next week with another great episode on Vox and Hops, episode number 22. Have yourself a great weekend. Hang out with your family. Hang out with your friends. Hang out with your loved ones. Drink some great beer. And have a good one. Cheers, all you Vox and Hops heads.